Hi, everybody. Today we've got another presidential political shift. This time it's going to be 2000 to 2008, and this one was suggested to me in the comments. And this is going to look at George W. Bush's first run up against Barack Obama's first run. And if you do want to skip ahead to the map, there will be a chapter down below. But if you need a quick refresher on these two elections, let's go through it. In 2000, George W. Bush, he won that election with 271 electoral votes and he carried 30 states. And that was good enough for 47.9% of the popular vote. The Democrat was Al Gore. He ended up with 266 electoral votes. He got 20 states plus DC, and he won the popular vote with 48.4%. Now, if we jump ahead 8 years, Barack Obama, he got 365 electoral votes. He carried 28 states plus DC and Nebraska second, and he won a clear majority of the popular vote with 52.9. John McCain, the Republican, he got 173 electoral votes, carried 22 states, and that was worth 45.7% of the popular vote. So 2000 was a very even year. 2008, that was a great one for the Democrats. So there are going to be a lot of blue shifts on here, but let's get back to the spreadsheet. The first column are the states. The second column, that's the 2000 Al Gore vote. Then we've got the 2000 George W. Bush vote. The next column is the 2008 Barack Obama vote, followed by the 2008 McCain vote. Then we have the Democratic shifts between those two elections, followed by the Republican shifts. And the last column is the net change between the two parties between the two elections. And then we've also got some shading. The darkest colors are 10 or more point shifts. The lightest colors are under 5-point shifts. So let's get started. And I took the data from Wikipedia. I tried to double check it. It's possible there could be a small discrepancy here and there, but the first state is Alabama. In 2000, Al Gore got 41.6% of that vote. George W. Bush got 56.5%. Jump ahead 2 elections. Barack Obama, he ticked down to 38.7%. John McCain bumped it up to 60.3%. That's a loss of 2.9 for the Democrats and a gain of 3.8 for the Republicans, and a total net shift of 6.7 away from the Democrats and toward the Republicans. So that's how this works. Now we can quickly go through the rest of these states. The next state is Alaska. Of course, that did have Sarah Palin as John McCain's running mate in 2008, but even with all that, the state did shift 9.4 toward the Democrats. How about Arizona? That was John McCain's home state. He did manage to get a small red shift of 2.2. Arkansas went 14.4 toward the Republicans. California shifted toward the left by 12.2. So did Colorado by 17.4. Connecticut also went in that direction, but by a lesser 4.9. And that state also did have Joe Lieberman as Al Gore's running mate in 2000. Delaware back up to double digits toward the Democrats by 11.9. How about Florida? Smaller blue shift of 2.8. Georgia got bluer by 7.2. Hawaii had a major shift toward the Democrats of 27. Idaho also moved in that direction by 14.3, as did Illinois by 13.1, and Indiana by 16.8. Iowa also got bluer by 9.2, and Kansas by 5.9. Kentucky defied the trend and went toward the GOP by 1.1. Louisiana got redder by 10 additional points, 11.1. Maine went in the total opposite direction by 12.2. Maryland had a 9% shift toward the Democrats. Massachusetts, that's a blue state, but it actually shifted 1.5 toward the Republicans. And now we've got some more shifts toward the Democrats. First, in Michigan, that's 11.2. Minnesota, 7.9. Mississippi, 3.7. Missouri, 3.1. Montana, 22.6. Nebraska, 14.1. Nevada, 16. And New Hampshire, and even 11. New Jersey, another blue state. Very little change there, but it did shift 0.3% toward the GOP. Back toward the Democrats, we've got New Mexico, 15.1. New York, 1.9. North Carolina, 13.1. North Dakota, 18.9. And Ohio, 8.1. Oklahoma got redder by 9.4. Oregon lurched toward the left by 15.9. Pennsylvania did so, but by a smaller margin of 6.1. Rhode Island managed to get a little bit redder by 1.3. South Carolina got bluer by 6.9. So did South Dakota by 14.1. Tennessee had the second biggest shift toward the GOP behind Arkansas at 11.2. Now we've got more blue shifts. We've got Texas at 9.5, Utah at 12.5. Vermont had the biggest shift out of all the states, just barely eclipsing Hawaii at 27.1. Virginia 14.4 and Washington 11.5. 6.5. West Virginia had the last shift toward the Republicans of 6.8, and the last of these are toward the Democrats. We've got Wisconsin at 13.7 and Wyoming 7.8. Those are the states, and we've got Washington, D.C. also getting bluer by 9.8, and your national shift toward the Democrats is 6.7. So those are all the states and all the shifts, and with every shift, we've got to take all this data, put it on a map to help visualize the changes. Here it is, we've got similar shading. The darkest colors are 10 or more points. This time, the very lightest colors are under 1 point shifts. Those would be the tilt margins, and we've got only one of them. That is in New Jersey. So 4 levels of shading, plus the congressional districts in Nebraska and Maine. So what are the takeaways here? Well, as I already said, 2000 was an even year. 2008 was a nice year for the Democrats. The vast majority of states did get bluer, and a lot of those were by double-digit margins. The Republicans had a few bright spots. They do have Arizona. That's going to be because of John McCain on the ticket. The bulk of their gains were in the South, excluding Mississippi and the Sun Belt. So that's a little bit interesting. But at the same time, the GOP did manage to gain a little bit in the Northeast. We've got New Jersey, Massachusetts, and Rhode Island. 3 solidly blue states, actually going toward McCain and the Republicans over Obama and the Democrats, when starting at 2000 with George W. Bush. Not really sure why that is. In 2000, Joe Lieberman was from the Northeast in Connecticut. 2008 had Joe Biden from Delaware. Sometimes that might be because of the third-party vote. In 2000, Ralph Nader got about 2.7% of the vote nationally, in addition to Alaska. His best states were Vermont, Massachusetts, and Rhode Island. I'm sure that's a factor, but also sometimes states just end up doing their own thing. And during this 8-year span, it was the era right before the modern political era where some of these states were becoming much more polarized or undergoing a little bit of a political identity shift. But the key state in 2000 was, of course, Florida. Bush very narrowly winning that. And in 2008, there was really no stopping Barack Obama from winning. He was popular. There was less third-party vote. John McCain had the experience both politically and with the military, but there was no excitement. It was a change election. Plus, George W. Bush was unpopular. The Iraq War was happening. There was also a recession. There's a lot of factors that go into it. You could look up more reasons if you'd like, but I'm going to leave it there for now. These are the shifts from 2000 to 2008. Let me know in the comments, what do you think about any of the shifts in any of these states? And how about the candidates in both of these elections? Let me know any of your thoughts down below. On your way out, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Join if you'd like to support the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.